The following is a CTV special presentation.
When do you truly become Canadian? Is it when you learn about our history? Or our history that came before? Is it when you raise our flag for the first time?
A red maple leaf.
Is it when you look out for someone? When you refuse to stand down? Or when you stand with those you've wronged? No matter when, where, or how your journey begins, today, we are Canada. And for Canada 150, we will begin a new chapter together. We will celebrate a new generation and make a pledge for the next 150 years. Because as history has taught us, when Canada comes together, we can accomplish anything. And our Canada begins now.
Welcome to the biggest We Day ever. I'm PK Subban, and we are here in Ottawa celebrating Canada's 150th birthday with a massive party. We've got music, speakers, and special moments that will inspire you to do good for our country. Tonight, we pledge to make the next 150 better than the last. And we want you to do the same, because you are the generation that thinks less about me and more about we. Welcome to We Day Canada.
When I was 12 years old, saw this article about a child slave who was sold, escaped, spoke out, and he was killed when he was 12. I tore the article from the newspaper and I asked my friends, who will join me in taking action?
We Day! This is your moment. Actively take steps to truly living we.
Today, Living We is a part of our national fabric. It's the spirit of community. It's doing good for others. It's changing the planet for better. Now, let's meet the brothers who started it all, Mark and Craig Kielberger.
We Day! Are you guys having a good day? We Day Canada, are you excited for the next 150 years?
For those of you we haven't met yet, we're brothers. My name's Craig Kielberger.
And I'm Mark.
And we started all this when we were just teenagers. We grew up in Thornhill, Ontario. We were fighting to end child labor around the world, but at the time, there were no organizations for young people and, well, hashtags hadn't been invented yet.
So we soon realized that there were many other young people who also wanted to make an impact.
And from those early roots as teenagers, the WE organization was born, and today it is Canada's largest organization of young people, families, schools, and communities making a difference.
And that's why we're here today, to look to the future. Canada 150 is more than simply sitting back in our lawn chairs.
Yeah, it's more than just enjoying a show and looking back at history.
Canada 150 is a chance for a conversation of the type of country we want to build.
Absolutely. Every person who takes to the stage today is going to share their pledge on how they'll make the next 150 years even stronger than the last.
So guys, you're part of something very special here. Very special of this movement for the next 150 years.
To define the future of Canada. So if you are passionate about the future of Canada, and most importantly, if you are willing to commit to serve and better our country, then when we say we are, we need you to say Canada. Let's practice. When we say we are, you say Canada.
We will celebrate our diversity because we are Canada.
We will lead this movement across the nation because we are
Canada. Enjoy We Day Canada!
With over 1.5 billion views on YouTube, this Canadian superwoman has become an international superstar. She is fostering her own generation of superwomen through her Girl Love campaign, is a great friend of We Day, has traveled to Kenya with me to We, and created her own Girl Love Rafiki bracelet. Let's give some love to Canada's own superwoman, Lily Sue.
I said all around the world.
Hey, hey.
How you doing, Ottawa?
Let's go.
All around the world.
Let's go.
Come on, everybody, let's go.
Hey. Sing.
Come on,
scream.
everybody, let's go.
Sing. Go.
Hey.
Sing it.
Everybody,
Let's go,
everybody,
let's
let's
go,
go
let's
right
go.
now.
Vancouver in my city. Alberta in my city. Winnipeg in my city. Hey.
Halifax in my city. Yo, I, that's the poem singing. No city in the world with a better mix. My city is the world, so I blow a kiss. And send it to the girls who be rapping it. I love them black, white, Puerto Rican, and Haitian. Somali, Bangladeshi, and all my Asians. Yeah, I love all races. If you want to see them in one place, then
Everybody
let
put
me
your
walk
hands in
in
the air,
the
let's go.
Hey,
Sing
come on,
Go.
everybody. Scream it, scream it.
Let's go,
Everybody right now.
Edmonton in my city.
Yellowknife in my city. Ottawa in my city. Quebec in my city.
L-I-L-L-Y. S-C-A-R-O.
It's a family thing.
Shout out to y'all that boy, you know what I'm doing. Some Carolina, some girls wanna dance.
One. Run it up.
Wanna come turn it on.
Hey.
Bust some bung it on, bung it, it's all good. Wanna trip around the world, come to my hood. Hey, go.
Everybody right now.
In my city. Saskatoon in my city. Hamilton in my city.
St. John in my city. And you're the done.
The six, the cold.
Last east side.
Toronto, you know.
You know.
When I leave the YYZ.
I always take a part with me.
Last East Silent.
You know.
When I leave the YYZ.
I always take a part with me.
Brampton in my city. Rexdale in my city. Scarborough in my city. Yeah, Canadians in my city. The six, the cold, the last East Silent. Toronto, you know. Let me see your hands up. When I leave the YYZ. I always take a ball with me. Make some noise if you from Canada today.
Small change adds up. That's why RBC is a long-standing partner of We Day, helping bring the movement across Canada. This year, they offered thousands of outstanding Canadian youth $150 to create change in their communities. Let's see how these young Canadians made their 150 count.
Hello.
My name is Luke Halleck. Je m'appelle Anthony Romain.
Living in Calgary, Alberta.
From Vancouver Island, British Columbia.
From St. John's, Newfoundland.
So I thought a lot about it.
And for my project, I have decided
How I used my $150.
I wanted to do something different.
Come on, let's go.
I wanted to do something for the youth of Orangeville.
We are going to give scarves and socks to homeless people. No, you're not.
Thank
you.
It may not seem like a lot to us, but could be a lot to another person.
I'll hold you up here. I won't let you fall.
I managed to buy basic school essentials for 30 Syrian refugee children.
Oh, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
That's for you.
Give me a hug.
Okay, come here.
All right.
I want to focus on empowering the people in my community.
If you fail at something, it means you've tried something, and then you can just try again.
I want to host a World Junior Hockey Party at the hospital. Together, we can accomplish so much.
One of the greatest things about Canada is just how many people are so willing to give up their time and their talents to make our communities and towns and cities better.
Don't go anywhere, or you could miss a performance by my favorite Canadian ladies. The Bare Naked Ladies are coming up next on We Day Canada.
My pledge for Canada, to ensure that this is a country that tears down obstacles for all who will face them.
We want to see a Canada that is healthy, inclusive, and accessible to all people.
Make sure that people with disabilities don't get left behind. You're all difference makers.
Even though every person is different, we all have something very important in common. We want to be accepted, treated equally, and with kindness. That's the Canada I want all of us to create. So let's do it. Let's choose kind. Thanks, We Day!
Hello, We Day! What an amazing pleasure to be back. How's the first day of the next 150 years feel? I mean, 150 years is a lot about looking back, but now we're looking forward with we, and you are the future of Canada. Everything you do in your schools, in your communities, with your family, all around the country is making a difference, a real difference every single day in shaping the future that we have, in shaping the country that we know we need to be. As I look at the extraordinary land we have, at the extraordinary resources we have, and mostly the extraordinary people we have in this country, I'm incredibly optimistic. We are the one place on this planet that has figured out that being different is a source of strength. That is going to be the secret to the future of this country, and it's something that my generation needs to learn, but your generation gets deeply already. Thank you very much, my friends. Merci beaucoup.
TELUS knows the importance of creating a friendlier future. They embarked on an incredible journey across the country to give 1 million hours of volunteer time to honor Canada's 150th birthday. They want Canadians to be inspired to do what we do best, giving back to others.
In Newfoundland, you're not giving back an hour, is it? We're giving back more than hours, an hour and a half at least.
If I could give back an hour of my time, it would be at the beaches and the parks.
Coaching hockey and giving back to the kids, really, because they're the future, so.
If I could give back an hour of my time, I would volunteer with the Ottawa Community Immigrant Services Organization that helps newcomers get involved in the community, find a job, and get connected.
If I could give back an hour of my time, I would give back to helping youth figure out their ways in this new economy, teaching one at a time to get to the point where they can just take command of their lives.
If I could give back an hour of my time, it'd be towards sports, helping out the young and the old, activities they want to go after and helping them through that.
In Calgary, everyone really comes together, and I think if I were to volunteer an hour of my time, it would be to give back to those who have given so much.
Now, if I gave an hour back, I would
bring kids on the land, show them where their families grew up. That's what I'll give back.
I work with the Alzheimer's Society of BC. I try and do anything and everything I can to raise awareness and funds for that.
Oh, an hour of my time? I give an hour of my time and more every day.
What's more Canadian than this band performing in Canada's capital during Canada's 150th birthday? Let's make some noise for Canadian icons and We Day ambassadors, the Bare Naked Ladies.
It's been 1 week since you looked at me. Cracked your head on the side, said I'm angry. 5 days since you laughed at me. Saying get back together, come back and see me. 3 days to the living room. I realized it's not my fault, but couldn't tell you yesterday. You've forgiven me, but it'll still be 2 days till I say I'm sorry.
Hoping I'm a monster hoodwink, cause I make you stop think you're looking at Aquaman. Some fish did the dish, although I like China, so I like sushi. Never touch a frying pan, hot like wasabi when I bust rhymes. Sweet like Leanne rhymes. So I'm all about value. Bert Camp, it's got the mad hits. Trying to match wits, trying to hold me, but I bust through. Gonna make a break and take a pick. I like stinking, naked chick like vanilla. It's the finest of the flavors. See the strokes and you know the vertigo is gonna go, cause it's so dangerous. You'll have to sign a waiver. Can't help it if you think you're funny when you're mad. Trying hard, not smile, or feel bad. Kind of guy who laughs at a funeral. Can't understand what I mean, well, you soon will. Have a tendency to wear my mind on my sleeve. Have a history of taking off my shirt.
1 week since you looked at me. Threw your arms in the air, said you're crazy. 5 days since you tackled me. I still got the rubbers on both my knees. Spent 3 days in the afternoon. I realized it's not my fault, no I'm too soon. Yesterday, you've forgiven me. Now I sit back and wait till you say you're sorry.
China, the Chinese chicken, chickadee China, the Chinese chicken, chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick, brain stops ticking, watching X-Files, no lights on, weird time to maison. Smoking business from like Harrison Ford, I'm getting frantic, the sting 'em 10 trick. Sinkers guaranteed to satisfy, like Kurosawa, I make mad films, Keanu make films. But did they ever samurai can get a set of better, cause I'm in the comic tiny, them just so minds on always flying off the backswing. Get into my Sailor Moon, cause Akatuna's got the boom, and I made babies, so maybe think the wrong thing. Can I help it if I think you're funny when you're mad? Trying hard not to smile or feel bad. Kind of guy who laughs at a funeral. Can't understand what I mean, well you soon will. Have a tendency to wear my mind on my sleeve. Have a history of losing my shirt. 1 week since you looked at me. Dropped your arm to the side and said I'm sorry. 5 days since I laughed at you. Said you just did just what I thought you were gonna do. 3 days since the living room. I realized you both to blame, but what could we do yesterday? You just smiled at me. Said it'll still be 2 days so we said we're sorry. Still be 2 days till we say we're sorry. There'll still be 2 days till we say we're sorry. Birchland Stadium, home of the Robbie.
My pledge to Canada is to live by our Canadian values and global conscience every day. I believe by living we will inspire the world to live Canada.
My pledge to Canada is to continue to foster the empowerment of our young people through the We Global Learning Centre.
Our pledge for Canada is to give back to the communities we live in. Our partnership with We is instrumental to help us inspire, innovate, and create a stronger future.
My pledge for Canada through Tech's Zinc and Health program is to continue to support young changemakers across the country who are recycling used household batteries, just like this one, to provide life-saving zinc treatments for children in developing countries. What's your pledge?
Our everyday choices have a direct impact on the future of the planet. Whether we recycle or conserve water or carpool to work, every action has an effect on the environment. Seventh Generation is doing its part for a cleaner environment by changing the way we clean at home.
Seventh Generation was created as a socially responsible company
to inspire a consumer revolution that nurtures the health of the next 7 generations.
We've been a leader in green cleaning and green personal care for 25 years.
Plant-based products that really work, that are affordable, that are safe for people and for planet.
We have a fundamental belief that what we put in our bodies, on our skin, and in the environment around us directly impact our health and well-being. You can't live a healthy life on a sick planet.
How's it going, We Day Canada? I've been up on the West Block for most of the night, but I just had to come down here and join you on the hill. That's right. If you're ready to live we as a country, I want you to hear right now. Chant with me, we are Canada, we are Canada, we are Canada.
We are Canada, we are Canada, we are Canada.
Now keep the energy going for our next presenter. She is a Canadian music legend who has just recently joined the We Day family. We Day Canada, get loud for the one and only Shania Twain.
We love you, PK. Well, I'm proud to say that, man, I feel like a Canadian. And I love you. We Day has some friends from around the world who shared their thoughts on what makes Canada unique. Let's take a look.
Canada is 150? I would have said 89 or 90.
Great people, beautiful weather.
Mountains. Hockey, beautiful place, multicultural.
Canoeing, nice big platter of poutine.
Tim Hortons, everything bagel, preferably.
And they sometimes have a funny way of saying things like a boot.
And the way they say about.
Which sounds like, what's that, a boot?
It's like, out, because we're eating trout.
When I think about Canada, I actually think of progressive.
Nice, kind, generous people.
How do you get 100 tough, rowdy Canadians out of a pool? You just say, would you please get out of the pool?
While our neighbors to the south may have 10 times our population, size isn't everything. We will always be prettier and younger. Am I right?
My pledge to Canada is, I want to see a country where there is no racism, where there's no discrimination, where there is no poverty, where there is clean water for everyone, where there's clean air for everyone. We need to work together.
The best way to honor the past is the promise of a future. You see, the future of Canada looks just like you.
We have the ability and the opportunity to create an incredible story on this incredible land based on mutual respect, on freedom, on democracy, so all of us can call this incredible land home.
Join me in utilizing truth instead of the limitations of our imagination when it comes to considering Canada's relationship with Inuit. Nakamik.
My pledge for Canada is for all you guys to dream big and to be better. But not only that, You have to make other people better.
Bonjour, Ani, Talitha Ndijinkas, Brampton Ndunjaba. My name is Talitha, and I am a proud Métis woman. Through the WE organization, I've delivered the Sacred Circle program designed to empower Indigenous youth all across Canada. The WE movement sprang from one 12-year-old boy outrage over the death of another 12-year-old boy half a world away. Today, I want to tell you about yet another 12-year-old boy right here in Canada. Channy Wenjack was taken from his parents and put into one of Canada's many residential schools. Run by the Presbyterian Church and funded by the federal government, the school took Channy 600 kilometers away from his family's reserve. On October 16, 1966, Channy escaped and followed a secret path through the woods, trying to get home. Channy struggled for days through snow squalls and freezing rain. He never made it home, dying of exposure. There have been many apologies since, but there is still so much work to do. Now it is our turn to listen and get to work. Channy's sisters, Pearl and Daisy, are residential school survivors themselves. I've had the chance to meet them at past WE Days, and they are true heroes of mine. And joining them is someone who has lended his support on the path to reconciliation. He's made an incredible effort to be with us here today. He's spoken on the WE Day stage before and was instrumental in bringing the Secret Path project together. Please give a warm round of applause for Pearl Wenjack, Daisy Wenjack, and Gord Downey.
Now we begin in a new 150 years. We leave behind the first 150 years, the ones with one big problem. Yours is the first generation in the new and real Canada. I love you.
Thank you, Gord, Pearl, and Daisy. Now I'd like to welcome back to the stage Honorable Prime Minister Trudeau, Mark and Craig Kielburger to express their gratitude for this moment.
Last year, Gord brought to life the heartbreaking story of Channy Wenjack, who, like too many other Indigenous children, suffered in unspeakable injustices at the hands of Canada's residential school system. His documentary, The Secret Path, reminds us that the burden of this experience has been on the shoulders of the Indigenous community for far too long, and the impacts are intergenerational. Merci, Gord.
Pearl, Daisy, Gord, on behalf of the entire WE organization, we would like to express our gratitude by making a commitment to Channy's memory. We're opening up a state-of-the-art youth empowerment center in Toronto to allow young people to find their voice. And we'd like to say thank you, and you're here today to announce that we'll also include a legacy room dedicated to the memory of Channy Wenjack.
We'd like to give you a small and humble surprise. To perform the song, Secret Path, please welcome over 100 young singers from the OCSB Choir and Les Petits Chanteurs de Canada.
We're celebrating with superstars such as Nelly Furtado and Headley. Stay right where you are because we have so much more coming up on We Day Canada.
My challenge to each of you is to find a way to do 150 minutes of physical activity a week, and then, this is the important part, challenge and support someone else to do it. Just hashtag Penny150 and we can do it together.
My pledge for the next 150 years is to advocate for widespread healthcare for all Canadians.
I've gone through my struggles with mental health issues, and that's why my pledge to Canada is this. I pledge to lend my voice to those suffering in silence. Together, we can make sure everyone in Canada feels supported no matter what they're going through.
She is a WE ambassador, has traveled to Kenya on Me to We trips, and even helped build an all-girls high school there. Give it up for the one and only Nelly Furtado!
To
Canada is a massive country spanning 6 time zones from the mountains of British Columbia to the seas of the Maritimes. But it truly does feel like a tight-knit community when we come together. That's why WestJet brought kids from all over the country to Ottawa to celebrate Canada's 150th birthday with us here at We Day.
WestJet cares for kids, and we want to help Canadian youth change the world.
That's why they brought me
and other youth
from across the country
to celebrate Canada's 150th birthday
and launch the next 150 years at We Day Canada.
كندا هو بلدنا الجديد.
أسي كندا نصدق أركانيا. And as the country we've always called home.
We see a bright future.
We are champions of diversity,
inclusion,
and education.
Together, we are building a caring and compassionate world for all.
Join us.
Because we've already started.
Don't go anywhere. We Day Canada is right back after this.
We Day Canada, did you guys have a good time? We've heard amazing celebrities, icons, but most importantly, we've heard some young people who have shared their gift of service for Canada and the dreams and the pledges of future. Can we give a big round of applause to all the young people who are on stage today?
So our pledge, and you've heard everyone make their pledge, our pledge is to help you complete your pledges, to empower all the young people here today to create the Canada you dream of. Canada doesn't build walls, Canada tears them down. You see, we know that today, as we look to the next 150 years, we're going to define the future. So if you're willing to commit to service, to better our country, then again, we want to end with the way we started. When we say we are, we want you to say Canada. We are. Canada. We are.
Canada. We will shape the next 150 years because we are. Canada.
One final time, we will lead this movement because we are.
Canada. What's going on, Ottawa? You feel like dancing? A little toast. Can we get a little close? Can I get an amen? Can I get a hell yeah? Can I get a Holy Ghost? Somebody give me a beat. Let me see you on your feet. Let me see, oh man, I don't give a goddamn, I wanna be free. Oh, tell me if you can. Don't you understand where we're going? Oh, you feel it and you know this about the blood when it hits you. Oh, it hits you like in my heart, just drop the beat and free my soul. I can roll. Oh my God, I lose control. La 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 la, I had to let it go. Go! In my body, in my bones, drop the beat, free my soul. When I hear that rock and roll, oh my God, I lose control. La 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 la, la la yeah. I had to let it go. Now you got a little taste. Now you got a little taste. Everybody get up, step that, shake your butt to the bass. When you break it down, when it all the sound. Everybody just stop. Happy Canada Day. Test me if you can. Don't think you understand where we're going. Ooh, when you feel and you know, listen to the road. When it hits you, oh, it hits you like. In my bones, just drop the beat, free my soul. When I hear that rock and roll, oh my God, I lose control. No, I had to let
Okay, Ottawa, I need your help. And I need you to be Canadians with me. I need everybody right now to crouch down. Everybody, just like this, down on one knee, together. Because when this next part kicks in, we are gonna lose our minds. So I need every single one of you. Here we go, sing it with me. Stay low. In my body, in my bones, keep the beat, free my soul. When I hear that rock and roll, oh my God, I lose control.